Welcome everyone to Aquatic Park today. And through their enormous generosity and work with seniors all over the Bay Area, and especially because they are right down by Aquatic Park. And it's a really beautiful area itself. If you come to San Francisco, you must go to that senior center. It's a very, very unique place. Anyway, I get to teach mind-body health there, and they're going to sponsor us all the way through until June on Fridays for an online class. So I'm very grateful for that. Without further ado, we will begin with Tai Chi Chih, 19 movements in one pose, preceded by some breath work and Qigong. So we've been working seated for a couple of weeks off and on. So if you have a stool, your water nearby, and are comfortably ready to go, anything we do today, you can definitely do with against holding onto a wall, a stool. You do it with one hand. You need to really modify for your own body. So for many of our seniors, seated practice after 3 years of COVID has been a really important start back to health. So with that in mind, for all our seated people here and on the recording today, we will be starting with triple burner, which is a Qigong move, seated on the edge of a stool or chair. Exhaling down through 3 Dan Tiens, another term that's been called also Dan Tien, but it's spelled D-A-N-T-I-E-N. So I'm never quite sure what Zoom will do with our dialogue, but I haven't really changed it and hope it works if you're using captions. Inhaling up through the nostrils, exhaling down through 3 Dan Tiens, head, heart and lungs, and abdomen. Feel that beautiful inhale come up through the nostrils and also as the belly opens, and then feel it come down. And actually the belly is contracting here and the energy is moving towards the Dan. This area back here, which is the Ming Men, opposite the Dan Tien. So you might feel that in your stool. Here's where the exhale begins. Here's where the stomach needs to come in. You can also tighten the anus. That's another term that's been used for some of our Qigong, eminent Qigong teachers, is to close the anus. It's basically you're using your abdominal muscles to feel this exhale. So try it. I find it interesting and helpful. Everybody has new ideas of how we can use the body, and we combine with them with ideas that we know about the core, which is that we need to breathe, that we need to use our whole breath capacity, but not maybe all the time, but certainly for exercise, become quite adept at feeling your energy C, which is at the abdomen. As you inhale and as you exhale, you can find a metaphor through nature by saying it's like a wave coming in. And it slowly moves to shore, which is bringing that wave back towards the Ming Men at your back here, and my voice is going to stop. Okay, now take a breath in again and count to 10 as you come down. Inhale. Take a big enough inhale so that when you count to 10, you've got enough breath to go to the end of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I just ran out. So the trick is take a breath when you get to the top. Ready? Now take another inhale. Make sure you've got enough. And now count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm going to run out and not be able to talk anymore. And that's because all sound works on the gesture of exhalation. That's why singers work so hard for this breathing. We spend 20 years or so trying to figure it out. Some of us don't, but I did. Okay. All right. Now you're going to do this again. Just think about that, but don't make a big deal out of it. Just inhale. And no sound. Exhale through the nostrils and the open, slightly opened mouth with your tongue on the upper palate. And that's said to be the Qigong breath. So the mouth is slightly open. Use an inner smile. You watch sopranos and they lift these muscles right here. Watch that. That's sort of the joy of breathing. Try that. It works, right? Sopranos know a lot. Inhale again. Now leave those muscles a little bit up there on your smile and exhale down. Good. Okay, now we're going to do some just patting or tapping seated. Okay, right here. This is a very important resonance area here. That's why when you ever see the old Tarzan movies, they're going, ah, ah, right from the top of a tree, because that's where your breastbone is here. And it's also where your chest voice is here. If I wanted to make a higher sound in my voice, I would use that soprano smile. Well, how are you today? So we as singers learned how to change where our voices would be. Now, the popular thing is to have the Tarzan sound, which is, ah, right? Try it. You're muted, I'm not, but it may decide to mute me. Okay, now you're going to come from here, top of the arm, down. And this is because we need to bring the chi or the energy to our skin, our fascia, our blood vessels, and back here to our buttocks, and right up here to our kidneys. You might want to just use your knuckles to rub around that area, rub around the Ming Men area back here, and then down here, right around your kidneys. And then when you tap seated, I think you might hit the chair or the back of the chair. So unless you've got an open stool, which I didn't bring all my props out, then if you have an open stool, you can do this seated, but you don't want any back on it or you'll hit it, right? Okay, so little things like having some aid nearby, like a stool, low stool, a stool without any backing, all those things help if you are going to show your best friend how to do this, okay? When they start, they'll be freaked out. Once you get going with them, they'll go, wow, this is so cool. I learned it in 5 minutes. It ain't true, but they'll think they did. Okay, here we go. If you all want to put your videos on, I can see you and it makes it more fun. So don't worry about what you're dressed like. You won't show up on our video. We'll just see you in class. Okay, come on, guys. All right. Inhaling first. Grounding down slowly, exhale. Beautiful. Thank you for coming in. Inhale up. Slightly release the knees and exhale down. Now I'm very consciously, almost all the time, in Qigong rider on horse position, which means if I were on the Mongolian plains, my toes would be out there and my heels would be in the stirrups. Okay, so just bounce your heels for a second. Yeah, and the good thing about this position is if you're already there and you're going to shift into your left leg for a forward back weight shift, all you do is go from there with the hands on your hips right here, riding your horse, and shift over there, and then bring the left heel forward right from the hip. so that the hip, the knee, and the ankle are connected. So let's do that again. Use your rider on horse. You're going over the Mongolian plains, and this is, I don't know how many thousand years ago, and you're going to come over here. And this leg now is a substantial leg in Tai Chi. This is the yin leg, masculine, feminine, the strong, not weak, but let's call it resilience of a straight leg brings that leg forward. So you see that what we have here is that the heels aren't going to be crossing each other. You want to make sure they aren't, because you need to balance forward and back from there. And if possible, keep the body in a line that takes you forward and takes you back. And of course, from the female position of teaching this, we tend to really use this kind of connection, which is great in many ways, because you're actually moving left, right hemispheres of the brain consciously with the breath. So here we would start all of our forward back weight shifts out here on your left foot, which is opposite my right as I mirror you. And if we were doing something like around the platter, we would already be out here, outside that front leg, and then we would bring it back and we would be outside the back leg. But will we have shifted with the intention of the hands? No, it's with the intention of the feet. So the weight shift is forward and back. And in our feminine body, those of us who are female today, it will come from one hip to the other, and it will look like, oh, she's going side to side all the time. Yeah, because I'm going with all the weight towards this foot. The other leg is straight. It's the yin leg. The heel's already lifted. When I come back to this side, then this is the straight leg, and this toe is going to lift. So it's a continual weight shift, which in terms of equity, because that's something we're all concerned about right now, it's all over the place in Tai Chi. So when you come back to this right foot for you, and you bring this left foot back, and you ground it into your rider on horse position, you're now ready for the opposite side. You simply shift from your rider on horse position with the toes out there over to the left and release the right heel forward. Spine is long, and when you go forward and back, no matter what you do with your hands, it's only a forward back weight shift without following that circle of around the platter. So here's your around the platter. Do you go like this and follow it? No, because that's just too hard. Okay, and it doesn't make sense in terms of keeping this wonderful connection to our feet. So we let the feet do one thing, go forward and back here. And the arms do their own thing, which is unique. It demands a lot of focus for the senior mind, because frankly, many people don't want to keep learning. But if we keep learning, we keep growing new brain cells. And that's a fact that they found from science. That whole new field of brain science is really exciting, and we're part of it. Inhale out here. Exhale back. When you're on the opposite side and your left foot comes forward, inhale out here. Expand the belly, contract, coming back. You'll be using your energy C. Really important principle that we just looked at seated. Okay? When you finish anything, grounding is really important. Probably one of the best ways of grounding is looking at a yoga pose like mountain pose. Mountain pose asks the practitioner to feel a long center that goes up to the sky and goes down to the ground. That opens the chest, and the palms move out like this. And this is just a really, really open chest. What that means is that the shoulders will roll down the back, shoulder blades, and open your chest. Rather than this, you want that. So if we bring that to our practice, we will feel a lot more connection to the breath here, opening of the lungs, which is natural. Of course, they're right here, and the diaphragm's under there. But going back to that 3-part breath in our Qigong position of rider on horse, try it. Put your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your belly, and expand the belly through the inhale. Bring it up through the rib cage, up to the collarbones here, and then bring it down. Collarbones, exhale. Rib cage, exhale. Abdomen, exhales. Here's your open wave coming through the ocean. At the belly, coming all the way up to the collarbones, and exhaling all the way down slowly to shore, and shore is back there. So, yeah, when we combine the principles of yoga with Tai Chi Chih and Qigong, we get a powerful fusion combination that allows us to really now use Qigong for our warm-up into Tai Chi Chih. So now standing, triple burner. Now we're going to slow it down a bit. Good. More of you showing your video. I really appreciate all of us communicating this way. It's great. Love it. Now we can actually literally feel each other's breath. It's wonderful. Two more. 9 is the magic number in Chinese numerology, so we honor that as much as we can. Beautiful. Now we're going to start shaking from our feet all the way up through our whole body. And this is to release any tension. And if you're trying to talk through it, it will definitely change your voice. But you can do your vowels here. You can do ah, or any vowel you want to do. Ah, A, E, O, U. I'll let you do it because I don't want to wear out doing myself. Okay. So, all right, now we're going to bring our shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And the proper way to do this in Qigong warm-ups is to open there, bring the backs of the palms together as you exhale. Here's the inhale. It moves towards the sky. And the Taoists did not call this moving towards heaven when you open the palms. They called it moving towards the sky. So this is moving towards the sky. This is moving towards the earth. Because they really honored nature. And I think that's an important principle that we have all the way through our Tai Chi Chih practice. Exhaling here, open for what I've been calling the accordion. That's an inhale. This is an exhale. Feel the nostrils open. Feel the closing. Keep your inner smile going, your soprano smile today. Try it. And just leave the throat open, the mouth's open a little bit, the jaws relaxed, the facial muscles are all relaxed. You know how laughter makes you feel so much better? Okay, well, I'm going to dare you to laugh right now, okay? Here you go. Can you do it? That's laughter yoga. Try it again. If you keep doing it, you actually really feel a real laugh, ultimately. Okay, and now let it go. Let everything go. Okay, so you should be able to in life go from activity to non-activity, and we're going gradually into non-activity. Let's bring up a feather, inhale it. You've shifted over to this side. Bring the palm down, flat palm all the way down, and then come to this side, inhale. The index finger and the thumb are together as you go up. It's like you're picking up a feather like this, and then as you release it, the palm flattens out as you come down. Beautiful, nice. Breathe in through the nostrils, keep your nice inner smile. Relax the jaw. The tongue will end up on the upper palate, right here, behind the upper teeth. And you don't have to worry too much about it, but just try it. And gradually notice how the breath is getting softer, more continuous. Your awareness of the eyes as they come up following your feather and down is really important. You want to connect every part of your body, even your eyes, to this movement. You might see things in your room you haven't seen for a long time. A crack in the ceiling, a piece of artwork. Just begin to notice how much beauty we've designed around ourselves that we sometimes forget to look at. And seeing is a gift. Now we're going to just open up here and prepare to go into Buddha picks up the earth. We don't really know if Buddha was one person or many. It could have been the same as Patanjali in yoga with the sutras. We have no idea really who he was or she was. Exhaling down. Pick up the earth on your inhale and send it into the sky on your exhale as the palms turn up towards the sky. Two more. Last one. What beautiful imagination created these moves? We really don't know. They're so old, but they're so enlightening. Notice how when we slow down, we begin to see. We begin to hear everything. We begin to be able to actually not hear the sounds we don't want to hear through focus. Clarity and a sense of our inward self and how strong that is. Let's ground all these ideas into the ground. Take them to the heart on the inhale. Take them to the abdomen on the exhale. And rest momentarily on globes of energy at your dantian, your low dantian. And now we'll do just a couple more things. We've done now triple burner, Buddha picks up the earth, and the accordion, picking up a feather and letting it go. I want to do with you the fountain. So bringing your hands to your hips, fold forward with a flat back, just halfway. And now if you go down further, release through your belly and touch the ground, or just come to your knees, either way. But you want to have enough space here that you could touch your toes. Come all the way up now, open the palms out, and you are the fountain. And you're going to exhale, bringing the backs of the palms together, slowly coming over and then releasing the lower back. We're doing this slowly. Of course, on your own, you can go faster for your own body. Inhale, exhale, and touch the floor or just halfway. Come up slowly. Feel the upper chest open. Look up. Start looking down. Fold forward from a flat back, with a flat back from your hips. And keep doing this with enough space around you that you could move into something else. This is a yoga move we've been working on, which is fun. Okay, we're going to come back now and move into the lion's roar. We'll start with the cactus arms. We're in our rider on horse position. We're going to drop down the knees a little bit like this. And we're going to open the mouth and make a lion's roar, which is sticking your tongue out. Okay, here you go. Inhale, drop down, inhale. Ah! Now you can take it back up for a second. And the next time you'll do a cactus, just watch for a second. Cactus, lion's roar. And then you're going to just wiggle the lion's tail. Can you see? I don't know if you can see my hands. Okay. So my grandson taught me this. So he's 3.5. Okay. Inhale. Cactus, grandma. Lion's roar. Ah. Lion's tail. Come back up slowly. Amazing what you can learn from kids. Okay, and let's not do it anymore. But anyway, it's just so much fun to see what kids can make up with yoga and stuff. I just learn a lot about it, how to have more fun. Okay, so let's do the fountain now instead of that. So you're going to start here. Bring the palms back to back like that. Drop over. Come back up. Open your fountain. Inhale, release, and one more. Good. Now come up and shake it all out. To me, that's probably the most important thing that I've learned from Qigong. Just whoa, just let it go. All right, and you start with your feet and you work up. Great. All right, we need to do the warm-up circles from T'ai Chi Chih. So head and neck, dropping the head down forward towards the collarbones, and then over to this side so that the ear is directly over the shoulder, and circle around. You can clasp the hands in back if you like. And if this is hard on your neck, modify it so it's a smaller circle. We do 3 of those. And then we do 3 the opposite way, starting with the chin towards the chest and then moving towards the other side. Ear over shoulder, and then up on the inhale and back on the exhale. And if possible, not involving a high breath, that raises your shoulders. Good. Okay, and our next one is for the arms out to a T, and you're going to roll that shoulder joint right here, the energy moving all the way down to the fingers. So it's really not a huge circle, although I've seen it done that way, but I don't. Find what's comfortable for you. I find this just knowing that I'm just really basically getting this joint going in a circle. And then forward circle. And now we're going to do a back circle. As if you were swimming on your back and there's water coming underneath there. Good. Now you're going to bring the elbows close to the body and just circle the elbows. So our elbows never really straighten out and lock in this practice because all the joints need to be loose, and rounding lets the energy move. Tightening does not. And now circling back, and I'm using my elbows all the way up to my fingers here for my circle. I could make it a small circle, so we'll try that. We'll just isolate the wrists to the fingers, but you're still going to end up using these muscles. So I think since all the joints seem to connect to other joints that are further down the line, it's important to know how important the whole body is. Nothing's really isolated. Good. Now we next go to our wrists. We'll just do wrists alone. Hold the elbows close to the body and just do the wrists. Yeah, in a circle. And only if that's comfortable for you, because not everybody has comfortable wrist action. Good. And then our next one will be to do knocking at the gates, which is sending energy into our buttocks. And as your forearms touch your tummy, you're basically massaging that area to do. Don't make it too hard here. But that's great for all your organs, abdominal organs. Now take it up a little bit higher and you'll be actually touching the kidney area, if that's comfortable for you. And if I do this, I want to make sure that I release my back heel so that I don't torque my knee or sprain my ankle. So all the joints, the ankles, the knees, everything needs to be warmed up. And now we bring it up to the higher body. These are important acupressure points, right? Under the shoulder there and inside the arm there. Yeah, that's really good stuff to work on. And then you can do little circles around on your collarbone area, or even down further in the upper chest, right above the breasts, and massage that area. Self-massage is part of Qigong. And now massage down the arm and down the inside, and the hands all the way from the shoulder down to the fingers, inside the fingers, other arm to the fingers, inside to the fingers, and now the legs, inside the legs, outside the legs, up and down the feet, circling around. Good, just getting everything open. And of course, tapping is great. Let's tap inside the leg, outside the leg, the tummy, around the buttocks, using your gentle, soft fist, not tight fist, around your Ming Men area, right around the tailbone area, both directions, circling. Good. I think that's good. Hip circles, forward. It's in 4 parts. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, except you want to begin to get it so that it's a circle. Since circles never end, once you've got the 4 points, put it all together. forward, side, back, side. And then begin to feel how it's going this way. The circle's moving this way. And now it's going to move the opposite way. Ready? Side, forward, side, back. Yeah, all circles have both directions that we need to connect to. Very nice. Now heels come together, feet come together, knees come together, placing your palms on your knees, but first find moving down with a flat back. So fold forward with a flat back from the hips, not from the waist. This would be the waist. This is the hips. Feel the difference. Now hold the outside the knees and let's circle around. And you can massage as you do this if you want, because you want to be able to really feel all those little joints and fascia and tendons that hold us and keep our joints safe, like the knee. We want to keep all those little muscles active and strong. And then take the circle the opposite way. You can massage all the way through this if you want with your fingers. Feels really good. And let's bring the body back up. And that's it. Tai Chi Chih, which will take us now about 45 minutes if I don't get too slow. Rocking motion. Oh, you might want to drink water right now. That's so important. Hydration is number one. Actually, breath is number one, and then hydration. Rocking motion. Rocking motion is our first warm-up move in Tai Chi Chih. And the warm-up part of it is moving into the feet, feeling the energy move towards the front of the foot and the toes, feeling the energy move back towards the heels, causing a rocking to happen that connects to the whole body, not just to the feet. The hands take it up as an action, moving the palms towards the sky, turning them over and bringing them to the earth, towards the earth. In a figure eight, it's very subtle, but that's our infinity symbol that we see in Chinese medicine and in Western medicine. Meaning that, to me, a metaphor that for long life, we need to keep moving. And hopefully not too fast. Noticing, watching, feeling, understanding. That is the wisdom of where we come at some point in our lives. As long as we have enough food and a home, it's not as hard as it is when that's not there. But the top of the pyramid is where we are when we can take time to do this. Usually happens in old age. Or taking time to smell the roses. Now, all the little sayings that are out there. So here in this beautiful warm up, make it something special for your body as the knees relax and move back and straighten. And then bend again in the middle and straighten in the back, but not locked. And it should feel kind of light and easy and the kind of thing you could do at a bus stop if you have to wait 20 minutes for the bus. Nobody will bother you if you do this. They might start to do it with you, but I doubt it. But it's so calming. And now we'll begin to close this beautiful first movement of rocking motion by grounding it, sending the earth energy down through those palms, moving towards it, and resting on globes of energy, bringing the feet a little bit closer together for our next warm-up move, which has to do with another weight shift forward and back, except in this case, you're going to inhale first into the feet, solidly on the ground. And as you drop down, you're going to release the heels and the feet will be in a V, like a bird on the edge of a branch. Inhale here and release. Inhale back and the legs more or less straighten, but don't lock on the inhale. On the third one, a little wrist circle forward as the bird learns to fly, or at least think about it. There it is. There's a second cycle. Now we've got one more circle to do, one more cycle of bird flaps its wings. Everything's in nines. Notice how this third one, it has 3 in it. Slowly bring it back to the body. Inhale it and sink it into the earth. As you prepare for our first forward back weight shift, carry the ball to the side. Inhale into this outer foot here, your right leg, and keeping your idea of the rider on horse position, just shift over and release your left heel forward, leaving enough space between the heels that they won't cross. Around the platter, the palms are facing the earth. You're said to be in chest-high water. So touch that water. Maybe it's warmer than the temperature outside your house or inside it. And imagine it as the chi, or as gathering your intrinsic energy through all 210,000 cells that ends up at your extremities, like the fingers and toes. Remembering to breathe through the nostrils and exhale towards this area, center of your chest. And at the same time, open the belly and have the energy move towards your Ming Men. Nothing is isolated. This is whole body, mind, spirit stuff that we're doing. That's why all the cell phones should be turned off. And as you're into this moving meditation, you just begin to do your own interior dialogue when you're by yourself. Stilling all the voices that tell you to do something else. Oops. 2 more. Last one. Bring that foot back in. Inhale to release. Exhale to basically come into this foot to release all the energy here, and then release your other foot forward, your right foot, around the platter. Same thing, opposite side. This is where the equity comes in, because you're making sure that each leg gets to lead, and the leader is in front. The follower foot is in back, but it keeps changing. Beautiful. Bring that foot in. Come back to your rider on horse position. Sink the energy through the earth and prepare for the next move, which will be to shift our weight over towards this right leg to bring the left leg forward for around the platter variation. The variation is a ball of energy that you pick up here at your left shoulder. Release opposite your heart and lungs and return the energy towards your back foot. Notice how soft your breath has become. It's still there with every move. But once you've warmed up, it's easier to find it. Around the platter variation, right side. Notice how beautiful the rhythm is of coming forward and back. It's all one big circle. So the concept of circularity is also in the rhythm. It's not a matter of slow and fast. It's a matter of the conductor in the orchestra leading all the instruments. And whoever's leading, you just follow their rhythm, and hopefully their rhythm slows down eventually. Depends on who's conducting. Last one. Mine slows down after about 20 minutes, so you just have to, you bear with me until that happens. A couple of inhales and exhales here. Grounding on the exhale. The inhale opens the body. And then we move into our next move, which is bass drum. Here's your drum. It's right outside the breasts. The palms are facing. There's Qigong points between those palms right in the centers. Feel those centers as you move. They're energy points. You want to feel the energy coming into the body now. It's not isolated with the hands. It's actually entering even the way the joints move together. The elbows will move back with the hips on your exhale. The belly will open on your inhale and close on your exhale. Just all begins to happen. Bass drum is magic. Feel the smoothness of your joints moving, their freedom. You could move the fingers if you wanted to right now. Some practitioners do. I think it's extra, but whatever you want to begin to get relaxed, kind of makes sense that you might want to do that. Just depends on what you need. Three more. On your left side. Last one. Return the foot to ground it. Inhale. Coming back into your rider and horse position. Exhale, release the energy down. Shift towards your left, release your right heel. Prepare for bass drum. Make sure that your heels don't overlap here. You want enough space so that you can ground fully and feel comfortable. That's the idea. If you look down and you see that your knee is going beyond the big toe, you might want to think about how far out you're going or whether you're draping the upper body over your knee. From what I can see, you're not, but you're still standing tall to me, but I can't see your knees. So you want that tallness. Last one, a bass drum. Return the foot to ground on your inhale and exhale. Inhale to the sky, exhale to the ground. Shift it over towards the right. Preparing your left foot for daughter on the mountaintop. This leg is straight, this back leg is slightly bent, and now the front leg will bend and the back leg will straighten. And your left hand will come down through the central meridian, almost touching your body. As the wrists cross in front. It's great. We're so together. It's wonderful. The gift of Zoom. Last one here on your left. Return the foot. Inhale to ground. In your horse, on your rider on horse position. I don't want to say horse on rider. That would be awful. And now shift over to the left. Bring your right foot forward. And daughter on the mountaintop. A beautiful concept. You can almost feel in the move that we're moving towards two mountains and coming down through a central valley with your left hand still close to the heart, to honor the heart. Last one. Bring the foot back in. Inhale to ground it through the earth. And return to the next companion move, which is daughter in the valley. Left heel forward. And now come through the valley. Release the back heel. Glide through the center. Release the front toe. Slowing it down. This is exactly where it happens for me. Slowness and fastness need to reflect who you are. So it takes me a while to get to slowness. If any of you decide to teach this, you'll find that your way of looking at the practice will be different, because we're not the same people. We're all different. So this is where I am here. This is where I feel slowness happening every time I do this practice. It's like I give up energy and find more. Last one. And feel stillness here as we shift over towards the left for daughter in the valley. I'm on your right side. There's the valley. There's the mountains at the top. The hands reflect that. The shape of the mountains. The feeling of a valley. The magnificence of spring coming. Not soon, but after we had these wonderful snowfalls. All that snow will help the flowers grow, and we'll have gorgeous poppies and beautiful ceanothus, and lots of bees and birds. The hummingbirds are already coming today. There's one outside my window. It's amazing. They come every year to the same rows and build a nest there. Let's do one more of this daughter in the valley. It's such a beautiful move. And then sink it into the earth. And double ground it. Those are really such gorgeous points in this practice to me. And then our next movement is somewhat more joyful. It's carry the ball to the side. All the projects that we have every day, and we, once again, we honor 9, 3 times 3. Picking up a ball of energy, winding up on that, releasing your heel out here. The heels are actually even on your carpet or grass or wherever you are. And 2, 3. Now bring in the outside leg. It's now yin, and now both legs will be releasing for your grounding. Stay in that position. Keep your spine long. Release this outside leg, yin, yang. And now shift over 3 times, making the yin leg as you're bringing the energy over here, yan as you go, and then both legs are yan to ground. I think that's correct. At least they're both grounding on the exhale. And the toes are still in your rider on horse position, allowing you to bend your knees with the knee not exceeding the toe there, the big toe, which we call the grand toe. And then we go back, wind up, release the outside heel. This leg is straight, this is bent. And now shift to change the other foot. Having it go from yin to yang. Sink. Wind up. Move once you've placed that heel out there. Sink. And one more. 3 times 3 move. Carry the ball to the side. And let's go back to home plate here. Inhale. Release this heel and move across. 1, 2, 3. Sink and ground. Wind up. Release the heel. 1. And last one. And sink. Beautiful. Okay, that's a really wonderful respite from the other forward back shifts. But now we return to a forward back shift that has an exhale forward and an inhale back, just the opposite of the other ones I told you about. So this one, you're going to inhale first and then exhale as you move forward in a circle that returns to your heart on the inhale. So here's your exhale. Taking a nice inhale here. And then keep your circle going. Feel your belly as well as your upper lungs. Feel them in sync. Here's where you're going to feel this beautiful inhale right there. And maybe in your belly too. We can strive for that. That would be connecting everything. Wow, it looks wonderful. This is literally called push-pull, or giving and receiving energy. And on Zoom even, we can really feel that if we all face each other. Two more on this side. Nice, giving and receiving energy. Bring the foot back in. Shift it towards your left, release the right heel. Push, pull, also called giving and receiving energy, which was the international aspect of Kapasatar. Their favorite move was this T'ai Chi Chih connection. Kapasitar is a leadership program that takes these moves to international populations and disasters, like tsunamis. Started in Santa Cruz about the same time as this came to us in 1974 from New Mexico. After disasters, they found that this was a favorite move of people. Like, it just gave them so much energy and yet so much calmness. Last one. Bring the foot in and sink it all through the earth as you inhale here from up to the sky and exhale into the earth. And then shift it over to the right side because you're going to bring your left leg forward for pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe. This time the palms are up. And that's an inhale forward and an exhale back, bringing the energy into your body with a visualization of your own, like setting an intention for your day or your week. What do you want from the most distant star today? Bring it in through your fingertips. Inhaling out, exhaling back towards the back foot and your toes. Inhaling into your fingers. Two more on this side. Bring the foot back in. Inhale to sink it into the earth. Exhale to shift over here, release the other leg, and start inhaling again. Pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe with your fingertips. Last one. Bring the foot back in and sink it through the earth. Double ground it. I'm going to move right ahead, but if you need to, we're moving into the taffies now to just take a 15 seconds for a couple of sips of water. Hydration is important when we're working with the body and the breath. And if it takes you longer than 15 seconds, that's fine. No rules in my class. All right. Lifelong learning is really for people who want to keep learning. And we are, if we see each other and do this every day, or however much you do this. This is basic taffy. And if your stomach gurgles, it's okay. It will soon settle down. Feeling your left hand move under the elbow, and then the separation that happens when the palms are facing each other, but apart here is coming from the energy of the weight shift below. So that's where all your energy kind of starts in the feet, but is definitely connected here to the abdomen at your energy C. So when you feel that breath connection to the movement, it will, I'm sure you all do, but just focus on always breathing in some kind of way. And then you'll find it happens for you without locking joints or breath. And then notice here the beauty of one hand moving down to support the back foot and one hand moving up for the foot that's the yan leg that doesn't need that much support. It's moving towards the sky. And the other hand's moving towards the earth. The one that was underneath becomes the top hand. The one that was on top becomes the supportive hand for the back leg. A beautiful principle of how yin and yang work together to support each other. And we'll bring this move to a close. Sinking it into the earth. As we move into our first variation of basic taffy, anchor taffy. Your left leg will come forward, your left hand will be underneath as you pull the taffy. And your anchor leg isn't back, it's your right leg. It's not moving until you pull in the anchor as you move to the side. And then that anchor leg says, okay, I'm here. Then that leg moves forward, it becomes the forward leg, and the other leg becomes the anchor. You open the hips to move to the side. And they keep switching. Now your right leg is forward, your right hand's underneath. Open the hips as the feet come back together in an open position. And then shift to the side and bring in your anchor. There you go. And that anchor now becomes the forward foot. And last one of anchor taffy. Looks great. We're all anchoring now at the same time as we finish anchor taffy. Our boats move to shore. And now we move into our second variation, which is circles taffy. Feet are in a V, and you might want to give yourself a little bit of space here, but ground, you might want to find out where your grounding is by tapping your heels. You can feel it. And now sink and rise with taffy, circling. When you rise, you want to come onto the balls of the feet without, you want to feel the difference between sinking here on all your points of the foot and the rising where you come to the balls of the foot and release the heels. Now you're down. Now you're going to pull Inhale to feel the grounding and sink a little bit, and then start again. Circles taffy. So the grounding is very subtle in this. It's almost, if you don't breathe in, you can't quite figure out where it is. Here's where you breathe in. Yes, that's beautiful. Now go. Sink a little bit. Now start again. Couple more. This is one of my favorite things. Because it's so much like conducting in music to me. Sink. I remember Leonard Bernstein, New York Philharmonic, and he was so criticized for his movement. As I probably would be for mine, but he was great. Let's do it again. One more in honor of Leonard Bernstein, one of our great American conductors who got in lots of trouble, who was a troublemaker, but brilliant. And last one. And sink it into the earth. Beautiful. So that is our second variation. And our third variation is probably everyone's favorite because we're going to still do this when we're 100 years old or more. This is perpetual motion taffy. Are you ready? Let's go. It's got a heel step on it. So you lift the heel once you've grounded on the other side and then drop the foot all the way to the toes with your energy. If you're going to move the hips back, you want to keep the stability of the knee and the ankle together before you do that. So you don't want to torque the knee. Solidly keeping that knee connected to the toe in front, or the big toe and the toe next to it. Yeah, you don't want to move the knee beyond there, like bringing it around like I'm doing now on my hip. So this is where you could decide I'm not going to go over and release back. I'm just going to go across, and that's enough. It works fine. This is just a little bit of a spinal twist when we do this. You realize that. Those of you that do yoga, solidly make sure the knee doesn't go with you when you move the hip across all the way. And perpetual motion taffy comes to a graceful conclusion. Inhale and sink it into the earth. Learn to modify for what your body needs wherever you are with this practice so that you don't get hurt. And our next move after the taffies is working the pulley. Your left hand will be coming out here from the heart. Your right hand will be coming back here under the hip and move back and then come forward. And it moves back on the inhale as this is the exhale forward. Ready? And it's a leader hand, follower hand. Working the pulley, sometimes with a shorter front back weight shift too. Last one. On your left side. Bring the foot in. Now your right foot takes the lead and your right hand moving out the same way. And your left hand will be moving back and forward. So bend the elbow. Watch that you don't straighten it too much because it's hard to bring this over the shoulder. So this is a safe way of doing this. Okay, here we go. Two more. Last one of working the pulley. Inhale to release. And come into our next move. Light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Sinking and rising. Feet in a V. Exhaling down, bringing the arms up to the highest point of the head and sinking and rising from there. Your light is there. There's your inhale. There's your squatting down and your inhale. Exhale. Circling the palms above the head. All the opposites we have in this practice. It's thousands of years in connection to Qigong, Tai Chi Chuan. Sink and rise and yoga. Let it go. The light is very important to these practices. It's the light of our thinking, speaking, and doing. And let it go. Inhaling to your heart, left hand comes on top. Exhaling down through the central meridian. And coming up to your temples, light at the temple. Sink and rise, feet in a V. Holding the energy here. Circle it. And you can be fully on your feet here until you sink again. When you sink again, something happens to the feet. Sink and rise. They come up to the balls of the feet. And then you release into the ground. Back to the heart with your left hand as you inhale. And prepare for our next move, which is joyous breath. You know how to make it joyous. Do it. Inhale. It's our most yawn move. Be as masculine as you can. One more cycle of 4. Come to the balls of the feet and then release. Inhale. Bring the feet back more or less together. Release down slowly as we move into passing clouds. All things change. Your right hand is up here, your left hand is facing the earth. One towards the sky, one towards the earth. And the clouds are in between. Passing clouds. Feel the bending and straightening. This. One leg takes it, then the other leg takes it. Perhaps even you feel a connection with the elbows. Maybe there's even a brushing there, soft brushing, or maybe not. The important thing is to not force yourself to do anything that doesn't feel good to you. Last one. Bring in the outside foot. Sink it into the earth. And we move to our 6 healing sounds, which are ho for the heart, hu for the spleen, su for the liver, sh for the lungs, shi for the triple heater, and shui for the kidneys. Ready? Your left hand, your left foot. Right hand, right foot. Shh. Shh. You repeat. Shh. Shh. Repeat 3rd time, 5 chewies. Turn the palms over. Heel step. Circle the palms. Other way too. Bring your left heel to your right ankle bone. Coming into more or less a tree pose first from yoga. Then bring the left hand closer to the heart on a circle here. Vast, big, open circle that resembles the world that Buddha picked up today. And look through your fingers or over them, through the window of eternity. Bring the palms together and the fingers intertwined, bring them overhead. With gratitude for thousands of teachers over thousands of years. And the work of Wen Shan Wang and his pupil, Justin Stone, who was my teacher. With gratitude for T'ai Chi Chih. And all of you who practice with me today, thank you so much. My great pleasure to work with you.